Greetings, namaste, Monson Biswakarma here right now at Audio Advent and bringing you today this wonderful S-type guitar by Jet Guitars. And if I have not mentioned this before, I really like how Jet Guitars logo is really loud. A lot of brands don't go that direction, but again, I'm a fan of things that are weird and quirky, and this, whatever they are doing with the logo, I really like it. And without further ado, let's see what we have got on our hands today. Spec wise, it's chrome machine heads, Canadian roasted maple neck. It's a modern C, which I do feel like it is. It's a very comfortable neck. You don't really have to fight much with it. And the fretboard is, on this one, it's a maple fretboard, but it also comes with rosewood. It's a 9.5 radius fretboard, 1.65 inches knot width, and it's a bone knot, which at this price point is always very much appreciated. And the truss rod is the normal double accent truss rod. It's 25.5 scale length, which is again pretty Fender kind. 22 frets, basswood body, HSS ceramic pickups. There's a tremolo 2-point tremolo bridge, which I've been fiddling around with this for quite a bit now. It's almost, I guess, 1.5 hours, and this is a pretty good tremolo. And just to clarify, I'm not much of a tremolo guy. I like my Fricks bridges because I'm pretty heavy-handed when I'm live. But again, Strat style guitars, it's always a mood kind of thing. Whenever you're alone, there's something about playing with the Strat and getting to have that tremolo do things that you would associate with players like Jeff Beck and players like Eric Johnson. And I'm no way trying to play like them. There's no way I could play like them. But yeah, when I was growing up, those were the Strat players I heard. So one volume, one tone. They kept it pretty simple, and yeah, there's a ton of colors that are available in this range. And for the price, it's 219 euros at their website, and pretty variable colors. You can always go to their website and check them out. And right now, let's talk about the guitar. What you heard was me going from this guitar to Quad Cortex, and then Quad Cortex going to the interface. And for the dirt channel, what we were using was a Plexi, a Marshall Plexi 50-watt head, and for the cabinet, there's a 212 Vintage 30 loaded cabinet. Pretty much the sound I'm comfortable with. And yeah, on the modulation, there was a flanger kind of thing going on, and there's delay and reverb, but a very the amount of delay I used and the reverb I used on the mix, they were pretty minimum. That's how I like it. Hopefully you liked what you heard. Now let's just filter out the mod. The tuning is a little out. Again, that much is expected with tremolos. But to be fair, I had been going for quite a while on this guitar before the video itself, and I could feel a bit of it going off while I was playing it, but I did not want to stop because, again, with guitars like this, you make do. But that being said, it's a pretty stable tremolo system, and what you seem to be getting here is a fat looking, what it looks like is a zinc block to me right here. And one thing that they have done pretty nice is there's no single holes up here at the back. There's just one big hole where you can just access pretty quick and easy. There's 3 springs. Yeah, it's a pretty big fat looking zinc block. I like them big. So yeah, hear them without let's hear the sound without modulations. There's a tube screamer kind of pedal running in front of the amp on the signal chain. That was position 4 if you're calling the bridge 1. And on the middle, the second, on the bridge, finally on the neck. It's pretty spanky on the bridge, which is something I really like, because in a lot of Strat style guitars, when you don't have the humbucker and it's just a single coil, it's really hard to get that attack and the response that you get when you're doing this, or it's pretty snappy, and I always appreciate that in a pickup. Compared to that, when you hear the neck, you can clearly hear that if you're hearing what I'm hearing, you can clearly hear it's a little loose. And if I had to point out something, this guitar is a really good guitar. And for me, I would just swipe out the pickups. To me, the pickups sound a little bit weak, but at the price point that you are getting this guitar with, and needless to mention, it comes with this soft shell case, and even the case is pretty nice. It has this neck rest for your guitar, and it's pretty adequately padded, so you can carry it around and just let your guitar be wherever you want it to be, and it's pretty safe. I would change the pickup personally, but now there are, with this guitar, I see 2 different kinds of players approaching this. One, if you're a beginner and if you really want that S type guitar with the tremolo, you want to experience the tremolo, you want to, and at that you want to have a very let's say a smooth playing experience with the tremolo, then this becomes a very good choice. And for those players who normally, like me, would prefer humbuckers, and like for me, I've always, my mainstay pickups have always been humbuckers. Not that I don't enjoy single coils or S style guitars, but a fixed bridge and 2 humbuckers is all I need, and I find it pretty comfortable, and that's my zone. But every once in a while, you need a guitar like this for your recording purposes, or sometimes when you're tonally exploring places that you want to be in your head. And it's always handy to have, like single coils, humbuckers, mini humbuckers, P90s, whatever you have at your arsenal. All of them come pretty handy. And for those kind of players, which are like me, who mostly play with humbuckers and just want a guitar for maybe, let's say, the studio purposes, or let's say for some kind of session where you need to turn up with a guitar like this, I think this guitar will pretty much kill it. And if anything, further down the line, if you, let's say, bought this guitar and then you experimented enough with it where you feel like you have hit a wall with the sounds, you could just swipe out the pickups and it would still keep you going and give you a good mileage. In that sense, I really think jet guitars have hit this bracket of consumers, the guitar playing consumers, where it is a pretty good hobby guitar and a pretty good backup guitar and a pretty good arsenal guitar. Arsenal in sense that you can have this in your studio for people like me who are already doing music, who have tons of other gears which are more or less more expensive than the guitar that I'm holding. And it is an exceptional value for money if this is your first guitar. So yeah, kudos to Zest Guitars again. And time and again, I've been thoroughly impressed, and that is the reason why I wanted to feature these guitars here on the channel, so that all of you can also know about it. But again, for things like these, I would always recommend to not just hear me out, like to hear me out if you're looking into these guitars, but going into the store and having that physical experience where you can just play it and then hear for yourself. Nothing beats that experience, and nothing should. That is how you should always judge what you're getting. And with that, this video is just meant to be a help for you to make your choices. And again, an incredible paint job and the kind of color variants that they are offering within the range, within the JS-400 range, is again incredible, because it is quite a lot, like they have pretty good options, so you can pick one if you don't like the other, which is always a good thing, because not everybody will fall for a red guitar, or not everybody might want a white guitar. So they have a pretty good varieties of colors there. Without further ado, let's go through some clean sounds now. I have not disengaged the tube screamer pedal right in front, so this is how it sounds with Fender. The amp is Fender Deluxe kind of amp. It's the same cabinet setup. Now the tube screamer is switched off. Let's hear how the amp sound on its own. putting the reverb. Right now, the only gripe that I can point out with the pickup is that it chokes a little bit differently to how I am accommodated with the sound. I mean, the kind of choking that I expect from a pickup versus what it is offering me. That's the only place that I can point out for my reason to replace the pickups if I had this guitar. But besides that, there's nothing much that I can really point out as being bad in this. Like everything is pretty well done. Even the frets are cut well, and the neck is very good feeling. And as I keep saying, when you have the physics right in the guitar and especially on the neck, then there's no way that a player would feel bad about it. Like, yes, there are actions, there's different actions that people play with, and there are different kinds of necks that people play with. But if you, for a general guitar player, if you just give them a good setup neck with an average setup action, if the physics is done right with the neck and how it comes to the bridge and how the nuts are going and everything that the strings touch, it should hold pretty good, even if it's a rather inexpensive guitar like this. So, yeah, Chet has proved again that we are living in a very good time as a guitar player, because there's all these brands that are doing such inexpensive, let's not say completely inexpensive, but very budget friendly options within their range. So you don't have to bust your bank. Like, you could get your you could get this guitar and you could get something like Newx MG30 and maybe an in-ear. Then within Nepali 1 lakh, you have everything sort of sorted out for a complete gig. And it's a pretty impressive thing to realize, like it did not used to be like that. So, yeah, that's impressive. Look what a gentle tremolo movement will result in. So yeah, all in all, a pretty robust instrument. The tuning pegs work fine, the neck works fine, the frets are pretty well done, and I have to give a thumbs up to Jet Guitars. Whatever tremolo system that they have got in here is working pretty good, and it's a 2-point trem for those people who are looking for, let's say, a trem that is on the modern side. This is a pretty good tremolo to have, and you have these vintage looking saddles. And I don't know if the camera is catching the color well. It's not exactly like very red. It's a little lighter than your normal red. And yeah, I like the guitar, and I hope you do too. If you want to check this guitar out here in Nepal, Deep Music is the place you should be in. And for all around the world, go to jetguitars.com. And yeah, maybe spread the word if someone's looking for a guitar like this. I'm definitely enjoying it. A few things that I forgot to mention, which I really wanted to talk about. The tremolo arm that comes with this guitar, it's a push-in tremolo, so you can just pop it in, pop it out on your whim, and the friction is pretty good. It holds up pretty well. The switches do not feel tacky at all. They feel like what the good switches would be. And same with the knobs. One specific thing that I really like about uh, the more modern iterations of strats is when the cable goes through here and not here. I don't know why, but I really like having this look. I prefer the cleaner looking front than when the cable is here for the strats. And yeah, the 2-point trim is a pretty good thing to have. And the access point here where the neck meets the body, there's no plate here. It's just 4 screws directly drilled into the body, and then there's this access that the guitar gives you. uh, the curve here is well saved off, so for the shredders and people who generally live around playing here, it's a very good guitar for you. Now if I had to rate the Z guitars, I mean this particular Z guitar, and hear it from a non-strat playing guy, it's an easy 8. Like so far I've reviewed 2 guitars by Z, and this is the second, and 8 is the number that keeps coming to mind, because just like I said, I could just swap out the pickups, put the pickups that I like, and I'm already good to go. And even with that, I'm not over budgeting myself. So yeah, Monsoon out.